Previously on The Greatest Estate Developer, our hero shattered a sky-high tower, outwitted the corrupt system, survived the enemy's endless siege in the crumbling city. Stakes explode, and now the story continues. The city's skyline teeters on collapse unless Lee Jun-woo outsmarts the cartel before dawn. He eyes a towering boulder choking the future estate's road. The cartel watches. Leave it, they seize the land. Jun-woo grips his tool, eyes blazing, and strides toward the stone, daring fate. Lee Jun-woo rallies his ridge team. Map clutch Hai-jin scans the terrain, soil expert Soo-yeon tests the earth, while Min Kyu trails the massive hamster that thumps beside them. They plant boots at the boulder's base, shovels poised. Jun-woo then summons the academy trainees, briefing them on the escort mission. Jun-woo clusters the academy cadets with his crew at the stone's foot. Jun-woo muses that aiding the crew could win Lloyd's favor, the indolent noble he now inhabits. Securing Lloyd's trust unlocks richer contracts for his eastern frontier estate. Determined, he amps up his effort. If I help them here, I should gain more advantage with Lloyd. The gamble could tip regional power toward his plans. A low, garbled chant whispers from the stone's cracks. Sarah Jard freezes, finger tracing cryptic glyphs etched deep within. The symbols pulse with latent magic, promising a game-changing revelation. Determined, Sarah readies his report for the capital. The team skirts the monolith. Sarah Jard hefts his axe, eyes fierce. Jun-woo studies the stone, calculations humming. Min Kyu turns to his brother. If a human girl declares love for an orc warrior, would people call her strange? The brother shrugs, uncertainty flickering. Their exchange spotlights prejudice that could block crucial alliances for the estate. Emotions soon flare over Emily's mistreatment. Hai-jin erupts. How can you treat Emily like that? She adds a mocking oink, then snarls, "Ha, that wretch." The outburst exposes a buried clash over Emily's position, forcing the crew to confront betrayal before confronting the stone. Tensions rise as hidden loyalties surface. Lee Sang-ho wipes away tears, whispering, "I can't stop my tears." Park Soo-yeon watches, then declares, "I can't believe how well both of my sons have grown." Park Soo-yeon tilts her head, asking, "What's with his expression?" She highlights Jun-woo's uneasy stare, suspecting hidden worry over the looming boulder. The team notes his tension, gearing up for the massive task.
What's with his expression?
Tools clank as the crew readies for the stone obstacle. Jun-woo hefts a pickaxe, slamming it into the boulder. Soo-yeon tosses a rope his way. Hai-jin steadies a lantern's glow. The massive hamster hauls a cart of rubble away. Together they shove debris, carving a modest dent. Yet the monolith remains colossal. The fresh scar uncovers a cryptic engraving etched into the stone. Min Kyu darts back, then vanishes behind the boulder. Jun-woo and Soo-yeon synchronize their swings.
Lee Jun-woo and his crew pound the rune-etched boulder. A blinding blue flare erupts from a crack. The crystal thunders with a humming resonance, and the ground trembles, signaling a dormant power awakening within the stone. Jun-woo feels his confidence fracture under mounting responsibility. Hai-jin's pride wavers on the brink of loss, and the team's resolve hardens as they gamble everything for the estate's future. A violet rune pulses behind the fissure, hinting at a deeper curse that could shatter their contract, leaving the crew staring at the intensifying crystal light.
There's no brakes on this hype train. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry.
A single picnic bag could topple the entire estate, and now it disappears into the night. Under a silver moon, Lloyd slips out of the manor's heavy doors. From the balcony, a guard bellows, demanding to know why he wanders after dark. Lloyd spins, eyes widening, then forces a shaky grin. The guard narrows his gaze, convinced something is amiss. The atmosphere crackles. If Lloyd runs, the family's crushing debt will spiral further.
Where are you going so late at night?
The guard's doubts will sharpen the moment the satchel reappears. The guard leans in, demanding to know if Lloyd intends to abandon the estate. Lloyd confesses that the future messenger's secrets gave him a powerful edge, yet they also painted a target on his back. He credits the messenger's data for his latest inventions, but the gratitude feels hollow. A frigid voice warns him to labor until his grinder bones ignite, demanding his power flare to shield the people. This ominous counsel hints that mere gadgets won't suffice, He must unleash his full might. Failure could leave the kingdom exposed. Although it's thanks to the skill and the information of the future that the messenger showed me, I've gained too many enemies.
You'll have to keep working until even the power of your grinder bones go up in flames.
Lloyd lifts his gaze from the sack, locking eyes with the orc. He forces a grin, tossing a joke-like question his way. The orc arches an eyebrow, replying with a teasing tone, as if reading Lloyd's thoughts about recent antics. The giant hamster freezes, ears perked, sensing the charged atmosphere. Both men share a nervous laugh, momentarily easing the weight of looming death. Call love. The hamster screeches, "No, I don't want that." Its ears flatten as it retreats from the proposed plan. Nearby, Lloyd's steadfast friend Mira steps forward, determination hardening her eyes. "I must tell him I have to," she declares, clutching a sealed letter. The urgency drives her to deliver vital news before dawn. "I must tell him I have to." Mira races toward the midnight rendezvous, where the coded clue awaits. Lloyd prowls the cramped hallway of the Frontera Manor. He pauses before a cracked portrait of his ancestors, running his hand over the dusty frame, sighing heavily. He extracts a crumpled ledger, flips to the page listing the family's soaring debts.
Lloyd pulls a secret lever, revealing a concealed compartment. Foreman Cuna and apprentice Emily emerge, handing him revolutionary blueprints. He then declares his newfound power, renouncing the Queen's control before the assembled manor crowd. He gains unshakable confidence and a promise of love with Sarah, yet forfeits the Queen's protective influence, exposing him to enemies and inner doubts. The Queen's hidden forces stir, the enigmatic hamster eyes emits cryptic signals, and Lloyd's fledgling engine sputters uncertainly, foreshadowing a battle that could shatter his nascent empire.
Something major happens to this character very soon. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry before the spoilers find you.
A sudden siege erupts. Lloyd's family fortune teeters on collapse. Suho Kim, now in Lloyd Frontera's body, surveys the crumbling estate. He sees overdue taxes, empty granaries, and a debt ledger towering over the manor. He remembers his civil engineering lessons and decides to redesign the waterworks to boost productivity. He sketches a new irrigation system on the stone floor. His plan could save the family from ruin. The Black Mage Vargas soon appears on the horizon. Black Mage Vargas arrives at the ancient castle. He raises a dark staff and summons a swirling vortex of shadow above the courtyard. The vortex crackles, sending black flames toward the battlements. A commander yells, "First attack squad, are you all right?" We have 5 injured, the mage squad has 1 injured. All commanders are to gather and await Her Majesty's orders. He drags the wounded to a safe corner, bandaging them quickly. Dr. DK steps forward, replying, "Done, tell me." He scans the chaos, waiting for the Queen's command. The troops huddle, bruised but still ready.
"Done, tell me."
Her Majesty's orders will decide whether the defenders hold or fall. A faint voice mutters, "TR," as the retreat slows. Sertara signals the remaining forces to regroup near the inner courtyard. Black Mage Vargas watches, his eyes glinting with cruel intent. Sertara turns to the young master and roars, "How dare you scheme a rebellion against our kingdom? I'll execute you right now." The young master, Lloyd Frontera, freezes as his secret plans are exposed. The accusation forces him to defend his hidden agenda and puts his life at risk. The threat to eliminate the key engineer raises the tension for the whole castle. The battle's tide shifts as fire god magic ignites. The sky erupts with searing flames as the punishment of the fire god is unleashed. Columns crumble while Black Mage Vargas channels the blaze toward the defenders. Sertara's knights scramble, forming a shield with the giant hamster's fur. Suho pauses, weighing his dual loyalties. He thinks carefully about his role in both nations. He realizes he now holds importance in Magenta's throne and Samarkand's lineage. He wonders if Samarkand will reject him as a traitor. The weight of his choices presses him as the battle's outcome hangs in the balance. The sandworm's hidden power soon erupts, forcing a desperate gamble. Think carefully. Now I'm important in both countries. I'm citizen of Magenta, but also family in Samarkand. Does Samarkand hate you? The young master, Suho, looks at the queen and says he isn't stupid. He thinks she has seen through his sandworm act. Suho, in Lloyd's body, grits his teeth while defending Samarkand's border from rebel raiders. He mutters, "Sira Jard." Under his breath, a code for his sandworm engine's activation. The sandworm bursts from the ground, swallowing incoming arrows and breaking rebel lines. This matters because the sandworm gives Suho a hidden edge to protect Samarkand and buy time for his larger plan. Sira Jard, the queen's accusation of treason looms on the horizon. Suho feels a surge of adrenaline as the sandworm retreats, leaving a crater of broken rebel armor. He smiles, thinking the thrill of battle feels good even if it earns no coin.
Vargas unleashes a massive dark pulse at the ancient castle, shattering the protective barrier and forcing Surtera to ignite the punishment of the fire god, a searing blaze that engulfs the black mage assault. Suho, trapped in Lloyd's body, revels in the sandworm's destructive roar, feeling adrenaline surge as rebel armor shatters. Yet his hollow victory offers no coin, only fleeting pride and looming dread. With the castle walls crumbling and the fire god's flames retreating, the black mage's dark spell lingers, leaving the battlefield poised on a razor-thin line between total annihilation and a desperate, unseen counterattack.
Never underestimate the guy with nothing to lose. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.
The Skyline threatens to collapse in 30 seconds unless the greatest developer finishes the final tower. A blinding flash ignites the horizon. Chinese Letter, the legendary estate developer, leaps onto a towering platform, eyes scanning the crumbling spires. He thrusts his hand skyward, bellowing a warning. Below, citizens scramble, heads tilted as the tower's base shudders. The clock ticks mercilessly, each second adding ruin. He must buy every heartbeat before the tower pierces the clouds. The Count watches, doubts rising. Can the structure even survive? Chinese letter circles the half-built tower, fingertips tracing cold stone, gauging every inch. He mutters, far too short. The edifice stalls well below the skyline required to bear the load. Lloyd snatches a handkerchief, pretends to cough, rattles his throat, exaggerating every wheeze. He declares his cough serious, demanding recovery in Isfahan. The Count nods, arranging transport. Lloyd's act buys a delay, letting him dodge immediate duties. This stunt risks exposing his cowardice if uncovered.
I must recuperate in Isfahan.
The Count's accusation sharpens tension. The Count confronts Lloyd, eyes narrowed, accusing him of only seeking help when convenient, ignoring past offers. Lloyd looks away, silent, feeling the weight of the accusation. Their friendship strains, sowing doubts about loyalty. The accusation reverberates through the hall, making the alliance fragile.
You only seek me when you need me. Ignore me otherwise.
The party steps into a dim cavern, awe gripping them. Strange mineral veins lace the walls, massive skeletal fragments jut from stone. Lloyd advances, eyes widening at the sight. The discovery hints at power unseen in the kingdom.
Whoa! What is this? Dragon? Bones?
After striking the artisan once, Lloyd declares he feels generous and offers to trade the dragon tailbone for a different resource. He suggests replacing the bone with a more valuable material. This bold move aims to keep the alliance intact while securing a better deal for his family. The Count eyes the proposal, wary of losing leverage. The Queen watches, weighing the benefit of the new material against the loss of the dragon relic.
After whacking you once, I'm feeling generous. Take the tailbone and replace it with something else.
The Queen's decision will determine whether the pact holds or breaks. After Lloyd offers the dragon tailbone, the Count erupts. The artisan pumps his fist, shouting, "I completed it all, you're useless, ha ha ha." Lloyd rolls his eyes, then commands, "Begin surveying, stay out of my way, kid." The artisan scoffs but obeys, grabbing his tools. Lloyd's order forces the crew to start work immediately, preventing delays that could jeopardize the diplomatic deadline. Their clash underscores the tension between noble authority and raw talent. "I completed it all, you're useless, ha ha ha."
Begin surveying. Stay out of my way, kid.
The survey crew heads toward the dragon bone discovery. The artisan wipes a fake tear, proclaiming, Boohoo Tilda, I'm a total genius Tilda, he laughs, patting his chest. His bragging inflates his ego, threatening to alienate the nobles.
Lloyd unfurls the massive garden blueprint, demanding the artisan finish, while the queen steps onto a glowing dragonbone platform and summons the mysterious Alicia Magenta, igniting a volatile power showdown. The boastful artisan's inflated ego threatens to alienate the nobles, while Lloyd risks his engineering reputation and the Viscount's trust as the Dragonbone project teeters between triumph and disaster. As the Queen's voice echoes Alicia Magenta, the Dragonbone platform hums ominously, leaving everyone to wonder whether the ancient power will awaken and shatter their fragile alliance.
You're already watching. The next step is obvious. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari like the rest of the fans.
The council hall trembles, seconds before the city's foundation collapses. The greatest estate developer announces a serene realm where order hides a fierce beauty. He brandishes his garden as a testament to godlike power. The council's verdict will seal the kingdom's fate. Oblivious, Lloyd Frontera strides toward the council, unaware of the looming trap. The developer proclaims humanity craves godlike creation, so he sculpts a flawless garden to prove his divinity. He boasts, "I am an old man who mirrors a deity." A sneering rival shouts, "Take everything the kingdom offers." Their rivalry fuels the garden's frantic pace. Humans crave godlike creation. I build a garden, feel divine. Peepadong cheers, "This is so fun, hooray," as Peepokvar announces the Queen's arrival. "The Queen's here." The crowd freezes when the Queen steps into the hall, demanding progress. Her presence raises the stakes for the garden's completion. The Queen's gaze lands on the rebellious faction. Lloyd's eyes widen as the Queen scans the chamber, her stare piercing the chaos. Her cold judgment promises a harsh verdict if the rebellion isn't quelled. She prepares to issue a decree on the garden. The Queen strides into the council hall, her gaze sweeping the engineers. Lloyd points to a massive schematic on the floor, highlighting a hydraulic pump. Lloyd applies his engineering tricks to a string of unrelated garden issues, fixing each one with a confident mutter. He credits the council member, I, abandoning idle profit-making for real construction work. This shows his growing commitment to the project. His new attitude fuels the next big challenge. Council member, I, declares Lloyd Frontera a true role model of competence. The endorsement boosts Lloyd's standing among the nobles and validates his engineering approach. It sways the council to trust his upcoming designs. Tension rises as the Queen watches the plan. Lloyd curses, fearing the Queen will brand him a traitor for his bold plan. He wonders what aid he can offer now. The Queen of Magenta steps forward, radiating an extraordinary aura that sets her apart. Courtiers whisper about her unique presence. Her authority looms over the garden, ready to shape its future. Lloyd senses both opportunity and danger. He must convince her that his hydraulic boat can meet her grand parade. I realize the Queen wants the garden to flaunt the kingdom's riches, a public display to make neighboring states bow. The council hears this motive, increasing pressure on Lloyd to finish the project quickly. I knew she wants garden to flaunt wealth, neighbors will bow. Lloyd still hasn't shown his hydraulic fix. PPO wonders why Agent Y'all devours everything, suspecting a hidden clue.
The Queen unveils the towering Dragonbone statue, demanding the garden flaunt the kingdom's endless riches, while a senior council member screams at Lloyd to abandon the project as the bone's eerie pulse intensifies. Lloyd's honor teeters on a razor's edge, his reputation crumbling under accusations of cursed luck, while I's unwavering confidence in his flawless simulation shatters beneath the council's mounting doubts. The Dragonbone's pulsing glow hints at a hidden threat, and as the council's warning echoes, the garden's stability hangs in the balance, leaving Lloyd's fate and the kingdom's pride dangerously uncertain.
Let me do the heavy lifting while you sit back and enjoy. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari every week.
A colossal mana monster erupts, swallowing the sun in violet fire. Its luminous veins crawl across clouds, turning day into bruised twilight. Lee Jun-woo, famed as the greatest estate developer, charges onto the battlefield. He inhabits Lloyd Frontera's sturdy frame, yet his civil engineer mind calculates every angle. Villagers gasp, merchants clutch trembling wares, noble guards brandish gleaming swords. Junwoo scans shattered rooftops, sees fertile fields turning to ash. He knows each lost plot erases his future estates forever. The looming threat forces the estate guild and the local militia into a fragile alliance. His next move could twist the monster's own mana into a weapon against it. Javier shouts, demanding Lloyd's ingenuity. Lloyd scans the shattered landscape, eyes landing on a collapsed archway. He sees a chance to redirect mana if re-engineered. He sketches a makeshift conduit, hoping to buy time for the swordsmen. The monster's pulse quickens, threatening an explosion.
Lloyd Frontera. Find some other way then.
Their search for a workaround drives Junwoo to call Javier's expertise. Junwoo lunges forward, shouting, "Javier Asrahan, you must join the sealing ritual." Javier nods, drawing his blade, ready to channel mana through the new conduit. The team rallies, aware a single mistake could unleash sky-wide destruction. Their coordinated effort now hinges on Javier's mastery. Right, Javier Asrahan, if it's him. Junwoo glances at the mana gauge and sees 11 seconds before the next pulse. He yells, 11, to sync the team. Javier and Lloyd crouch, gripping their weapons. The countdown ticks as the monster's aura grows louder. At 0, a wave of raw mana surges outward, targeting the archway. The team must act within that span or be overwhelmed. Timing matters. A missed window could flood the valley with mana. Javier steps forward, ready to strike the core. Javier points to the broken archway, declaring it the only viable conduit. He grabs a steel rod from the debris and braces the arch's edge. The megaton press reaches maximum pressure, crushing the mana flow into a solid column. A blinding flash erupts, sealing the conduit. The monster's core stutters, its mana output dropping sharply. The valley's sky clears as the dangerous surge ends. The team exhales, relieved but aware the battle isn't fully over. Javier eyes the weakened monster, wondering if another strike is needed. A massive mana-rich monster bursts from the clouds, shaking the valley. Lloyd Frontera drops his mug, eyes widening in terror. Everyone stares, mouths open. The creature's aura threatens to scorch the land. Lloyd's panic could delay the seal, letting mana spill over the region. Lloyd steadies his resolve, risking his reputation to command the seal while Javier snarls about coin. And the team feels the weight of a potential failure that could cost them everything. As the valley watches in tense silence, Lee Junwoo admits his control falters, demanding a stronger sword master as the sealed monster still glows ominously, leaving the battlefield teetering on the brink of a catastrophic resurgence, with the valley holding its breath. The dragon's wing trembles, the heavens groan. Junwoo, famed estate mogul, clings to the Dragon King, a legendary beast spoken of in the Night of Iron Blood saga. The colossal creature bursts upward, clouds swirling, racing toward the far-off citadel of Gazelle. Time ticks. The kingdom's survival hinges on arriving before the enemy's shadow falls. A breathless courier darts forward, demanding the princess's estimate of the distance. A squire rushes forward, bow low, voice cracking with urgency. He demands the distance to Gazelle. Princess Aria scans the distant horizon, then declares a full day's ride even at their frantic pace. Their rations thin, enemy troops close the gap. The Stark estimate tightens the deadline. The Dragon King banks low, casting a massive shadow over the battlefield. Lloyd lifts the sword, its blade catching the sun in a flash of fire. Alicia watches the monster's glowing eyes, heart pounding. Javier reins the dragon tighter, urging a surge of speed. The beast rears, exposing a vulnerable flank. The squad aligns, ready to hurl the blade along the calculated arc. The creature's hidden fourth tailbone flickers, hinting at a critical weak point. Javier shouts for Sir Asrahan to lift the creature's upper torso, hoping to pry open the granite fourth tailbone. Asrahan charges forward, bewildered by the sudden command. He grips the beast, muscles straining as it thrashes wildly. The creature barrels after them, its eyes and ears cloaked in a glowing mana shield. The team watches, stunned, as it tracks them despite the barrier. One member gasps, "Whoa, it's covering its eyes and ears while chasing us. How does it still keep up?" Another mutters, "Useless now." Their panic spikes as the shielded monster remains a lethal threat. They must find a way past the shield. Lloyd throws his hands up, admitting, My plan to use the Dragon King fails. He scans the battlefield, desperation etched on his face, and asks, does this monster even have a weakness? Could such a thing have one? The confession exposes their lack of a clear path to victory. Lloyd points at the creature's pelvis, shouting the discovery. The fourth tailbone, a granite nub, pulses with dragon power. The team marks it as the only point that can break the mana shield. Javier readies his spear. Alicia prepares a spell, and they coordinate a focus strike on that spot. The fourth tailbone from the pelvis. Now they launch the spiraling sword toward the granite target. The team spots the granite protrusion on the monster's back. Lloyd points at it, declaring it the fourth tailbone, an artificial piece of stone. He notes that even if fake, the dragon's power still fuels it. The group realizes the tailbone can channel enough energy to shatter the mana shield.
Lloyd summons raw power, his aura flaring into spiderweb fire that tears through the Dragon King's mana shield. The barrier shatters, revealing the hidden fourth tailbone, a granite nub pulsing with dragon energy, the sole point capable of breaking the beast's defenses. The crackling light illuminates the battlefield, promising a chance to end the Titan's reign. Alicia's resolve steals as she watches Lloyd's transcendent surge, her eyes blazing with renewed purpose. Javier's confidence soars, his grin widening with each heartbeat. Yet the team feels the crushing weight of staking everything on a single fragile strike against an ancient, wrathful Titan. The air crackles with tension, every breath a gamble. The Dragon King bellows, its shattered shield flickering like dying embers, while the quartet steadies their blades, muscles taut. The exposed tailbone trembles, a warning that the creature's true core still lurks beneath, concealed. Their hard-won advantage teeters, victory hanging by a fragile thread, as the beast's heartbeat echoes ominously.
Don't wait. Subscribe to Manwa with Harry now so the next episode is waiting for you when you wake up.
The blast tears the sky, shattering Yihan's empire in a heartbeat. Flaming debris rains on his flagship shop, walls crumbling. A duchess from the neighboring realm screams, the explosion will devour the whole district. Yihan feels his estate teetering on the edge. Debt collectors loom, ready to strip him bare. Hugh's thunderous roar erupts, rallying a desperate counterstrike. Yihan darts into his office, lungs burning. Mira materializes, aura crackling with raw mana. The shockwave will hit the market stalls in seconds, she warns. Yoon Seong-woo bursts in, unfurling blueprints for a makeshift wall. The trio merges engineering precision with spellcraft, forging a protective barrier. Failure means the market burns and the family's debt explodes. Reinforced walls thrum, his invention humming with power. Hugh shouts rallying cries, hope sparking in the defender's eyes. Goro hauls additional stone crates to the barrier while the crowd erupts in chant. The alloy withstands the next shockwave, granting the team a foothold. It's working.
We'll win this!
A half-dragon surge ignites within Yihan. A bright UI scene flickers in Yihan's vision. New skill unlocked, half-human, half-dragon. Dragon mana surges, augmenting your core. Power rushes through him, reshaping his abilities.
New skill unlocked. Half-human, half-dragon.
He clenches his fists, weighing how to wield this half-dragon gift. Hugh halts mid-battle, voice trembling. Suho snatches a copper wire from the wreckage, shouting "Wire!" to signal his plan. Mira and the knight sprint forward, attaching the wire to the alloy dispenser. Together they attempt to divert the dragon mana through the makeshift conduit. Goro drags a heavy crate, stabilizing the barrier. Their frantic teamwork buys precious seconds before the overload. Yet the mana gauge flashes a troubling count. Mira shouts, the kingdom will crumble without Javier's magic. She begs Suho to rescue him just as he once saved her. Suho admits he has no cure. Javier's mana vanished in an instant. He cannot restore the missing power. The wall cracks wider, bright mana flooding the arena. Dragon mana erupts, shattering the stone wall further. Bright mana floods the floor, spiraling into a vortex. Suho drives his mana into the dragon flow, forging a counter-pulse. Goro strains, the knight lifts his shield, and the alloy device blazes crimson. The maximum output blast swells, poised to engulf the market. One misstep could shatter the kingdom's economy and ruin Suho's chance to clear the debt. The next instant will determine if the blast detonates or is contained. Suho clamps the alloy device to the conduit, his palm radiating as dragon mana surges through the metal. The mana meter spikes, flashing red. The stone wall cracks further, exposing a jagged edge. Goro claws the crate tighter, muscles straining.
Suho clamps the alloy device to the conduit, pours his mana into the roaring dragon flow, and ignites a vortex that tears the stone wall asunder, forging a blinding blade of raw energy. Suho feels his earlier regret scorch his palm. The giant hamster strains to its limit, and the knight's shield cracks, each sacrifice echoing the razor-thin line between triumph and ruin. The shattered wall unveils a yawning darkness, pulsing with unseen dragon mana. The meter flickers dangerously low. The hamster lies motionless. The chamber's fate hangs on a fragile, imminent collapse.
Miss one chapter and you'll be completely lost. Hit subscribe on Manwa with Harry and stay in the loop.
Master Lloyd unleashes a torrent of mana, tearing the fabric of reality. The greatest estate developer watches the sky crack, fearing the whole city will crumble. Without that raw power, the foundation collapses, sending towers crashing. Javier spots the rippling danger, grips his gear, and knows he must gulp the searing mana before it devours everything. Master Lloyd bellows, demanding Javier seize the surging flow. Javier thrusts his hand into the glowing river, pulling the raw energy straight into his veins. The aura flares, bright as sunrise, but a single misstep could trigger a catastrophic explosion. Destiny points spike as the surge intensifies. A dark symbol sears onto the cracked stone, pulsing with shadowy mana. Javier and the Master stare, bewildered as the glyph throbs. Its presence could be the key to awakening the bone dragon hidden beneath. The glyph expands, sucking in more mana. Javier screams as reality trembles, fearing a total rupture. The chaotic surge draws the dormant bone dragon ever closer, its skeletal outline shimmering in the mana haze.
Ah.
A cloaked figure steps forward, bowing to the man bearing Master Lloyd's likeness, apologizing for his ignorance of the mana's nature. His remorse hints at a deeper secret that could either seal or unleash the torrent. Javier watches the redirected flow, calculating the new pressure in his mind. He snatches a rune stone, prepping to reinforce the channel. His swift adaptation prevents the mana from spilling outward, averting further reality damage.
Got it.
Lloyd prepares the next spell as the vortex threatens to expand. A silhouette bursts from the swirling vortex, landing hard before Javier. Javier startles, eyes wide, as the newcomer materializes, clutching a hidden artifact. The sudden arrival destabilizes the fragile mana balance, forcing the team to rethink their strategy.
What? He just appeared out of nowhere.
Master Lloyd steps forward, eyes scanning the newcomer, then laughs at the absurdity. He lifts his staff, mana crackling louder. The battlefield stretches, mana ribbons coil, and the bone dragon looms behind shattered stone. No dialogue appears, only the looming threat and the gleaming tools ready for the upcoming cuts. The stage is set for a decisive assault. After being crowned Grandmaster, Master Lloyd orders Javier to command all cutting tasks. Javier smirks, draws his sword, and shouts back, refusing intimidation. His confidence fuels the team as the glowing cutting tools ignite, ready for the first strike.
Right back at you.
Mana ribbons spiral across the sky, glowing blue and white. The bone dragon looms behind shattered stone, its massive skeletal frame casting a dark silhouette.
Javier seizes control of the massive cutting operation, wielding his axe as mana ribbons swirl and the dormant bone dragon shudders, igniting a race against an awakening terror. Javier feels his dreams of turning DP into glittering gold crumble as the dragon's tremor threatens the lives he just saved, forcing his pride to clash with a haunting responsibility. The bone dragon's massive skeletal form shifts forward, its silent roar promising an unstoppable awakening, while Lloyd and Javier stare at the blinking DP to gold readout, unsure whether wealth or ruin awaits.
Hit subscribe on Manwa with Hari right now. The next recap is closer than you think.
Cursed mana erupts, swallowing the village in fire. Ash chokes the air, then a sleek estate rises, casting a dark silhouette over the ruins. Daomai strides forward, cloak snapping like a banner, and shouts, "I am the greatest estate developer." A stunned onlooker whispers, "GG," eyes wide with disbelief. Word spreads like wildfire. Every scarred villager turns toward the newcomer. Whispers turn to fear. His ambition burns hotter than the lingering flames. The stage is set for an ancient magic versus modern scheming showdown. Dao Mai's audacious claim snaps the attention of Targa, the cursed mage, whose bitter gaze follows. The crowd murmurs, questioning Dao Mai's sudden ascent. Targa leans close to Antiques, whispering, "Am you rather?" He claims to share the dragon's burden, offering his cursed mana as a bridge. The dragon recoils, confused by the claim of shared identity. Targa's declaration tests the beast's willingness to accept a human partner. If the dragon embraces him, Targa gains a potent ally against the village's oppressors.
Am you rather?
The dragon's reaction will shape the next battle for the estate's destiny. The dragon roars and Targa shouts, gaslighting it. Sparks of cursed mana flare across the ruins. He then yells, "Dad," echoing his mother's cruel words. The outburst reveals Targa's inner turmoil and fear of repeating his mother's failure. Lloyd stands before a shaken crowd, raising his hands, eyes scanning fearful faces. He admits his rash plan caused panic. "I've caused worry. I take responsibility." He explains his invention was meant to lift the village's water tower, not to awaken the hammer. The crowd murmurs, some nodding, others still trembling. Lloyd promises to rebuild the tower with safer methods, offering his engineering know-how as remedy. Villagers' hope now hinges on his ability to replace danger with reliable construction. "I've caused worry. I take responsibility." The next scene shows Javier arriving with a warning about cursed mana. A young apprentice steps forward, clutching a cracked stone tablet. He points to the name etched in dust, Lee. Lloyd admits his ignorance, confessing he awoke already inside the dragon's body. He realizes the body swap is real, and his consciousness now inhabits the bone dragon, while the original Lloyd's soul remains missing. This revelation threatens the restoration contract and the village's safety, as the dragon's cursed mana could erupt at any moment.
Lloyd Frontera discovers his consciousness trapped inside a bone dragon's corpse. As the dragon's original soul, Antiques confronts him, demanding a lullaby and commanding him to descend into hell. He risks losing his humanity and the kingdom's heirship while gaining a chance to redeem his deceitful nature by rescuing the dragon's true soul and earning Dragon King membership. The looming descent into hell leaves Lloyd teetering between salvation and damnation. As Antiques' command looms, and Targa's promise hangs in the balance, with the true bone dragon's soul still unseen.
Final chance. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari.